For days, we have been waiting for answers as to why an officer opened fire, killing an innocent woman in Minnesota. But now authorities are finally offering some clues into the death of Justine Ruszczyk. We now know that 2 officers are being investigated after that bride-to-be called 911 to report a possible sexual assault near her home. As Officer Michael Harity and Officer Mohammed Noor were in their cruiser in an alley, Officer Harity told state investigators that he heard a loud sound that startled him. That's when he says Justine approached his driver's side window. Officer Harity says his partner Noor was sitting in the passenger seat and pulled out his gun and shot her through the driver's side window, right across his chest. Well, now this tragic death is not only making headlines across America, it is front page news in Australia. That's where Justine is from.
Our Consul General is supporting the family, and we are seeking answers to this. This is a shocking killing. It's inexplicable. Our hearts go out to her family. I mean, how can a woman out in the street in her pyjamas seeking assistance from the police be shot like that? It is a shocking killing.
CNN national correspondent Ryan Young has been chasing down this story all week, and he joins me once again from Minneapolis. Ryan, more details coming in tonight, courtesy of the 911 call that was made. What are you hearing?
Yeah, you know, everybody's been waiting for a timeline, Ashley, wanting to know how long this took, what happened. The 911 call gives us kind of a glimpse into what happened that night. That first call coming in around 11:27. I'm going to read part of the transcript to you. First, the caller calls, "Hi, I can hear someone out the back, and I'm not sure if she's having sex or being raped." The operator says, "Give me the address." Justine says, "Washburn Avenue South." Then she goes on, "I think she yelled out help, but it's difficult. The sound has been going on for a while, but I don't think she's enjoying it. I don't know." Then the operator comes in, "Okay, well, I've already got a call started and help on the way. You can't see anything. You're just hearing a female screaming. Then is that what you're saying?" Justine says, "Yeah, it sounds like sex noises, but it's been going on for a while. I think she's tried to say help, and then it sounds distressed." So that was that first 911 call that came in around 11:27.
Mayor Betsy Hodges had something to say about the officer and his willingness to communicate what happened. Have a listen to what she said.
We cannot compel Officer Noor to make a statement. I wish we could. There are big questions left that we still have and that we hope to have answered soon. Why did Officer Noor draw and fire his gun? What happened from the time the officers arrived on the scene to when she was pronounced dead? Why don't we have footage from body cameras? Why were they not activated? We all want answers to those questions.
You just can't escape it. Every time you check your Facebook or you watch the TV, somebody somewhere is being removed from an airplane. Sometimes it's the passengers behaving badly.
I see her. All right, everybody watch out. She's coming through.
Oh my God.
We got some Hillary on here. Donald Trump. It's your president. Every one of you. If you don't like it, too bad.
I'm not yelling. You want to hear me yell? I'm being so impolite, aren't I, fat?
It is not always the passengers at fault, however. We've seen some pretty gnarly airline reps, too.
Come on, come on. Come on.
Just kill me. Just kill me. Kill me.
We'll fly the airplane. Don't worry, I'm going to let my co-pilot fly it. If you don't feel safe, get off the airplane, but otherwise we can go. Okay.
You do that to me and I'll knock you flat.
You stay out of this. Come on. You don't know what the story is.
I don't care what the story is. No one's heard a baby.
A lot of big headlines there. And now a brand new one. And it comes to us from a young man named Kima Hamilton. It is fair to say that we have all been in his shoes before. You board a flight and you gotta go to the bathroom. But you know you can't get up until the plane gets up into cruising altitude, so you hold it. Then the plane stops taxiing and there's a delay, and now what? It can reach epic proportions, as it did for Kima, whose plane sat on the tarmac for 30 minutes. He had asked to use the restroom but was denied. And when it got to be an emergency, he used it anyway. And this happened.
I purchased the ticket. Can you help me understand why?
We're going to discuss this outside. Not here. Outside. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
I need more information, sir. I haven't done anything. I paid for this ticket, and I actually have to get home.
I'm going to kindly ask you.
I need more. I'm not really clear on why I'm being asked to leave this plane. I purchased this ticket. I had an emergency. I had to pee.
I understand.
I went on a tour. I had to pee. I tried to hold it the first time. I came and sat down, and I absolutely couldn't.
And I understand that.
And I'm being kicked off the plane.
He had to get off the plane, and he did not get to his destination on that aircraft. I want to bring in Kima Hamilton. I know that the rest of those passengers, they were all delayed for 2 hours because of this. You got kicked off the flight, had to buy a whole new ticket on another airline. Are you angry? Have you even heard from anyone at the airline? Where does this whole thing stand right now?
You know, it was outrageous. So, you know, it has created those types of feelings. But I've had the blessing, I think, of having, you know, being able to dig my head and get buried in my work, which, you know, has helped me be able to process this from a healthier space.
I want to actually get the other side on this for a moment. Permit me, if you will. I want to bring in Sarah Nelson. She's the international president of the Association of Flight Attendants. She joins me now live as well. Okay, Sarah. I think, you know what, you heard me say it. I think a lot of people watching are really angry. Kima took 1 minute. It was a human necessity. If you've been sitting on that taxiway and you're not moving for half an hour, what else are we supposed to do?
Well, you know, Kima seems like a really reasonable guy, and I just want to be really clear that I can't make any definitive determinations about this particular instance because we don't have all of the details of everything that happened. But what I will tell you is that flight attendants deal with these issues almost every day, and of course we are charged with keeping order in the cabin. We're charged with maintaining the safety and security protocols that keep everyone safe. And so it is important that passengers are following those instructions. But I will tell you that we also have to deal with human beings. And we do this in a way measuring the actual circumstances taking place, the subtleties of what's happening. We would typically be asking the flight deck if it's possible for a passenger to go to the restroom and try to get that cleared.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Ashleigh Banfield. This is Primetime Justice. 12 years is a very long time. Think back. YouTube was brand new. No one had ever heard of Twitter. And Michael Jackson was alive. In fact, that year, 2005, he was found not guilty of child molestation. And it was also that year Natalee Holloway went missing after going on a graduation class trip to Aruba. Cable news was simply transfixed by the mystery, and it never really went away. Because despite dozens of twists and turns in the case, suspicious people, arrests, even a prosecution in a related case, Natalee was never found. But now there just might be a break in Natalee's case. Natalee's dad, Dave Holloway, and a private investigator named TJ Ward say a tip has come in from one of Yoran's friends, and it could be the key to solving her murder.
My name is Dave Holloway. My daughter, Natalee Holloway, went missing in Aruba in May 2005.
The primary suspect, Joran Vandersloot, the son of a judge.
Joran was the last person seen with my daughter. He knows what happened, but he's never been charged with a crime. A man named Gabriel has come forward and he said, I'm living with this guy who says that he knows where Natalee's remains are.
Do you believe the information he's told you?
It's 100%. We've gone on a lot of leads, and none of them have panned out.
This lead, we have a person who states that he was directly involved in disposing of Natalee's remains.
Joining me now, Natalee Holloway's father, Dave Holloway, and private investigator TJ Ward. Welcome to the both of you. Dave, if I can begin with you. 12 years is a long time, but not if you're a father.
That's right.
If you're waiting for something, it's like it's yesterday. Why this? Why now? How did you get to the discovery of human remains?
To back up, we've been investigating this for the last 18 months, almost 2 years now.
You and TJ?
TJ and I, yes. Excuse me. I've received a call from Gabriel, a guy that has 2 daughters of his own. And
just some guy named Gabriel, out of the blue, an informant.
And he came through my screening process that I have at work and got a hold of me and said, look, I want 5 minutes of your time if I can. This is not a theory, speculation, or whatever. This is some real stuff. And I was kind of hesitant about even listening to him at the time, but he went on to say, just give me 5 minutes. I've got some information that may be useful in locating your daughter's remains.
Good evening. I'm Jean Casares in for Ashleigh Banfield. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Primetime Justice. We do have breaking news tonight. Search crews are urgently excavating a 12.5-foot deep grave where the body of one of the missing Philadelphia area men has been found.
We have found human remains in an approximately 12.5-foot deep common grave that we have painstakingly dug with a lot of care so as not to damage any potential evidence. And I'm very, very sad to say that we can now identify Dean Finocchiaro, 19 years old, of Middletown, as one of the people that was found buried in that grave. He's been missing since Friday. We notified his family that we have recovered his body. There are additional human remains inside that grave. So this painstaking process will go on. We're not done yet.
You heard the Bucks County District Attorney there. He says cadaver dogs led authorities to the graves on Wednesday, and they are continuing to dig, continuing to sift through what they are finding on that farm just north of the city. Finocchiaro and 3 others, Jimmy Patrick, Thomas Mio, and Mark Sturgis, all disappeared over several days last week. They were within miles of each other. Cosmo DiNardo, the son of the property owners, was arrested for the second time in a week on Wednesday and charged with trying to sell Mio's vehicle. While investigators will not call DiNardo or anyone else a suspect in their investigation, he is being held on a $5 million cash bail, and just a short time ago, DiNardo's attorney says his client has confessed.
Mr. DiNardo this evening confessed to the district attorney. He confessed to his participation or commission in the murders of the 4 young men. In exchange for that confession, Mr. DiNardo was promised by the district attorney that he will spare his life by not invoking the death penalty.
Interesting words there by the defense attorney, participation or commission of the crime. I do want to bring in CNN national correspondent Miguel Marquez. He is live with us tonight in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. What is the latest, Miguel, on this investigation?
Yeah, we know that the district attorney here in Bucks County is going to hold a press conference sometime this evening. We expect in the next hour or two, and it might be to identify the other individuals who they found in that common grave. It said there were remains of several individuals in that grave. This had been headed toward a very disturbing and sad place as the facts began to roll out. And with the confession of Mr. DiNardo today, that clearly seals the certain fate, unfortunately, of these other young men. I can tell you that this case has just put this entire area. It is an absolutely beautiful part of the country, about 40 minutes from Philadelphia, about an hour from New York. Big, lush farms and estates and mansions. And for this to happen here, I think it has just left this place reeling and in shock, and it seems to be coming to a rapid conclusion.